So for this shoot, I'd had this idea in my head, probably mostly from watching Stranger Things, and I wanted to do a really cool, like vintage cinematic look for a shoot. And Riley has this really cool vintage vibe and just dresses super well, so I knew she would be a good fit for what we wanted to do. Conceptually, what I really wanted to convey was kind of the story of a girl who was maybe alone and thinking about what's going on, why is she here, what's brought her here. And so when I was looking for hotels, that's what I had in my mind the whole time. One of the main things that we used was a canned haze. And one of the great things about the canned haze is you're not having to run a smoke machine the whole time. The haze sits really well in the room, so you can just spray it right before you shoot and then get some really cool lighting effects just by having an aerosol can on set with you. We were also using a lot of gels to really saturate the color that we had in the room. So for the shot with Riley where she's sitting on the bed, I wanted to get the room really intensely colored. And so that took a couple of different lights. For starters, as our key light, we had a 53-inch octabox up above her with a red gel doubled up on the inside to really get this great saturation of color in it. On the camera right side, we ended up having to use two different lights to make sure that the room had even color and lighting throughout. In the front, we had a small strip box with a blue gel, and that was really to put that blue color onto the model and a little bit on the bottom of the bed. Then behind that, I had a standard reflector with a blue gel as well, pointed back into the room, and that was used to wash that blue color and kind of intermix it with the red color that we already had on the wall. And we did have a flag just in front, and that was to keep the blue from spilling further than we wanted it to in the room. So for the shot of her sitting in the chair, I wanted it to be kind of an end of the day feel where the sun is going down and she's thinking about what's going on. We took a ELB 400, put it outside, and then put a CTO gel on a standard reflector and just brought it up nice and high so that it came and washed across like the sun was setting. On the camera right side, I put a big 53-inch octabox with a double blue gel to really saturate the color and brought it down to a really low power so that it just pushed blue into the scene around it and kind of gives it this cold versus warm feeling, and I think evokes a little more emotion from the scene itself. For one of the images, we decided to utilize this extra bedroom that was in this hotel room. It was kind of a unique feature and I liked the lines of it. We took a small strip box and put it inside the room with her with a blue CTB on it. Then that light kind of washed across, lit up the whole room as if maybe the TV was on or something like that. And then to give a good juxtaposition, I wanted the foreground to be nice and warm, like there was a tungsten light on. So we took a standard reflector and put a CTO on it, and then actually pointed it up into the ceiling so that the light felt like it was washing down from some of the ambient light that was in the room. One of the other elements of the room I wanted to incorporate was the bathroom. So for this image, we actually took a 7-inch reflector and put a 20-degree grid on it and then put a CTO over the top. And to make it feel natural, like it could be a part of the environment, we brought it up nice and high on an arm and pointed it down across her. I think that does a couple of things for us. One, it feels like it should be in the environment, but then two, it creates a lot of drama because your light starts to fall off towards the bottom, and so it brings a lot of focus to where the story should be. One of the images we did as well in the bathroom was of her standing in the tub, and it was a really tight space. So what I decided to do was actually shoot into the mirror and leave some of the elements there in the foreground. Then we brought in a purple gel on a 7-inch reflector with a 20-degree grid on it, shining down across her face, and just created something that I feel like you can tell your own story about. Getting the mood and the vibe is really, really important. I like to link emotions with how I want them to look. So instead of just saying chin up, chin down, head right, head left, saying in this scene, you're sad, you're thinking about either what happened or what's going on, so that they can get into a headspace where they can get that emotion to come out a little bit better. One of the biggest considerations when working with gear, and whether it's helpful or not, is thinking about, is it effective in creating my final vision? And when you're working with something like the Skyport Plus with HS or the ELB 400 is super portable, the biggest thing is the ability to not have to think or move around a whole bunch to make big adjustments. And I think that is really important so that you can get the shot and not worry about, oh shoot, run over there, adjust my light, and then come back and hopefully the emotion that I had from her is still the same. Is your gear making you capable of creating the things you see in your mind?